AskReddit by Meowmamix. As a homeless person, what is the most important thing you can tell someone who finds themselves homeless for the first time? Stay away from homeless communities like tent cities if you don't want to stay homeless. Brush your teeth and don't be too afraid to engage with people. Join the library. They have many free resources and cheap alternatives. For example, I get copies made there instead of Kinkus when I print my resume. Why stay away from tent cities? If you're homeless without a vehicle or public transportation of some kind, as in, you're always on your feet, invest in socks. Take care of your feet. Do what you can to keep them dry and blister free. At first I read that as invest in stocks and I was like, what lol. Find a way to maintain dental hygiene. I'm so tired of not being able to chew food, being in constant pain, and having additional medical issues due to oral infections. Not to mention, once they begin rotting, your appearance will hinder you from being employable. In addition to brushing teeth, chew gum with xylitol. It inhibits the growth of bacteria that cause cavities. If you're homeless but have a job, get a gym membership, preferably somewhere open 24 hours, so you can shower and warm up, stay cool and hydrate. Rent a PO box if you can to get some mail to help maintain an identity. If you need to replace an ID or paperwork, you need an address. Most post offices offer a general delivery service for homelessness. Talk to a clerk at your local post office and ask about it. As long as you can provide a valid ID, general delivery is free. Been homeless recently? 1. Gym membership, hygiene and cold nights. 2. Department Human Services, find food pantries. 3. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, don't be proud to ask for help. 4. YouTube top tents, save money. 5. Stay away from shelters if possible, crazy PPL. 6. McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. 7. Focus on your health, try to eat as healthy as possible and stay clean. It's super easy to get sick or catch something on the street. 8. Stay motivated. I wish you the best of luck. Stay away from shelters, but it could also be the saving grace. Many shelters have 3 meals a day, showers and support staff. Yes, there are tons of crazies, but you don't have to stay there long. Find a job, look around for extra financial support, move out as soon as you can. No, ever been homeless, but have been food insecure. Hare Krishnas and Sikhs will feed anyone in need. Krishnas and Tuesdays, their holy day. I believe Sikhs are every day. Also, the Hare Krishnas usually have a Sunday feast, either around noonish or in the evening at 6ish. You can climb out. There are plenty of practical recommendations here, and they are good. But don't forget about caring for your mental health and reminding yourself this is only temporary. 30 years ago, I was a high school dropout sleeping in parks and on bus benches. Today, I have a master's degree, and I sleep on a king-size bed in my own home. Keep your head up, keep moving forward, and remember this doesn't have to be permanent. Attend church functions for the food. Also, all Hindu temples will provide a cooked meal to anyone. I understand if you turn up frequently, you may start to be given little jobs to help out around the temple. If you're lucky enough to have a vehicle, in the US, welcome centers, rest areas, in your state are a great place to sleep. I would go dusk to dawn, and alternate locations. Restrooms and phone charging were a plus. This was obviously a short-term solution, and I never drew attention to myself and kept my car clean. Most have safety patrols drive through nightly, which made me feel safe, but I was never bothered and honestly looked a person taking a few hours rest while driving. It's exactly what they're there for. I also met some very nice travelers. Google safety rest area or welcome center for your state. Large truck stops are good for this as well. Try really hard to stay off drugs. Seriously, stay off fentanyl, stay off meth. That street meth makes people into monsters these days, fries brains, and there's basically no coming back from that. Fentanyl kills so many people, new users. We had a homeless guy camping down the block who was tidy, kept to himself, so the neighborhood left him alone or helped out in whatever way they could. Dude lived for 2 years like that, surviving. Then one day some other campers moved in close to him. Less than a week later we found the other campers gone and his tent collapsed. After talking to some other homeless people nearby, we found out dude did fent with the new people, OD'd and died. Those streets are hard, but these two things will either keep you there or put you in the ground quick. For homeless women, there will be many men who approach you offering you shelter for seemingly nothing in return, out of the goodness of their charitable heart. Do not trust these men. Also for homeless women, if you look clean, frequent places with large busy bathrooms and ask other bathroom users for a tampon. You'll never have enough if you only ask during menstruation. Ask every time you see another woman in the bathroom. A tent. Source a tent somehow and find a little spot, preferably in some wooded area. Obviously this depends where you live. Literally sleeping on the streets is super dangerous and your likelihood of getting sick from exposure is high. Edit. Not been homeless for 10 years, so my advice might be out of date. I just got out of homelessness at the end of November. I was only homeless for 6 days this time, but I've been homeless for months before. Woods is so much better, feels safer, quiet, no needless on the ground, and as long as you're a clean person it'll look like you're just camping. My mistake was thinking it was safe staying in urban streets near cameras. I was 17 at the time and a little girl. People are horrible, so I would suggest finding some woods where it's quiet, and if you're lucky enough, get a tent or some basic survival items while you go to charities that can offer jobs or shelter for a little bit while you figure out a way to source a little bit of income. Try to find a place that's safe and warm. I slept in my music conservatory practice rooms. They let the guy in my new city sleep in the post office. Just be nice and find somewhere where people won't say anything. And good luck. Libraries are a good option. At mine, it's okay to sleep there as long as you're in a chair and your face is visible. I remember when I first became homeless and was starting a new job working at Starbucks, and on day 1 of training, the trainer talking about all the things Starbucks does for charity, like helping the homeless. It hit me then how much society looks down on people who are homeless. It didn't even cross her mind that I could have been homeless as a new Starbucks employee. I remain homeless and food stamps eligible all through my employment there. I had a co-worker who was homeless too. Crazy how such a big corporation has so many employees who are paid so little they qualify for government assistance. Worked for Starbucks for years while living with my parents, and the only way I could get an apartment was with housing assistance. Not homeless myself, but if you can afford it, a gym membership with 24/7 access is surprisingly helpful. It'll get you access to clean water, showers and toilets, a safe place to go if you need it, especially overnight, and working out can help you stay motivated and optimistic in spite of your circumstances, which can help you get back on your feet. And being in physical shape could be helpful when it comes to looking for work. I just got out of homelessness, again. If you have a job, keep it in any way you can. Find a place to shower like the gym or at a homeless hub that offer showers. As long as you're pet free, your best bet is to get into a shelter. They usually have support staff to aid you with finding work. You have to work in this economy to afford a room. Even with welfare, I'm short by rent by $270. A job will make sure you're able to afford a room for yourself, food, clothes and things to have fun with like a computer or games. If you have a pet that you are not willing to part with and you're homeless, it's a very different situation. My experience is being homeless with a 80-pound dog. I couldn't go to shelters and finding housing is exponentially harder with a pet. Give me a text if you're homeless and need to talk. I've never been homeless, but I'd say often local libraries are great resources. I use them a lot. Bicycle touring. Safe, free Wi-Fi, computers, books, places to sit. Free power outlets as you have devices or a battery bank to recharge. I'm a public librarian and we also usually have a list of resources to help people that are homeless, so make sure to ask the librarians for help too. If there's a Buddhist temple in your area they will feed you for free. Was homeless for 10 years. Get ready to be treated terribly by most of society and get ready to be seen as less than an object. If I may ask, how did you manage to get out of it after such a long time? I imagine it being hard to get out of it at all, but the longer you're in this situation the harder it's going to get. I'm not homeless but I live in San Francisco. Don't do fentanyl. Don't do fucking anything, it's all got fetty in it. You will no longer have any friends. You will have to rely 100% on yourself and no one else. IDK. I've had friends find themselves in adversity like this, and I've let them stay with me. A very good friend of mine allowed me and my daughter to live with her while I got back on my feet. Not everyone has friends like that, but more so than don't. My favorite quote by Churchill. When going through hell, keeping going. You matter.